Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridharan ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Navadvip Dham ki jai, Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Unmute your mic. Hare Krishna.
Hare
You are
Krishna.
welcome. Yeah, you are welcome. I put the
Yeah, thank you.
verse on the screen. We can start.
Haribo. Yeah. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan Nama Krishnaram Jevanaro Tamam Devim Sarvatim Jasam Tato Jayamodi Hayet Nasta Prayesu Bhadrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyo Tamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naisiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 22. Okay, read the verse now. Itam hipam sabstapa sastrustasya va visistasya suktasya chabudi dattayo vichito ritha kavibhir nirupito yats tamastoka gunano varnanam. Idam, this, he, certainly, pumsaha, of everyone, tapasaha, by dint of austerities, shrutasya, by dint of study of the Vedas, va, or svistasya, sacrifice, shuktasya, spiritual education, cha, and buddhi, culture of knowledge, dattayor, charity, avichutha, and fable, artaha, interest, kavibihi, by the recognized learned person, nirupitaha, concluded, yat, what, tamasloka, the Lord, who is described by choice poetry, guna anuvarnanam, descriptions of the transcendental qualities of. Translation and purpose by His Divine Grace Abhay Charavinam Shri Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Translation. Learned cycles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting, and hymn of charity culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. Robert. Human intellect is developed for advancement of learning in art, science, philosophy. 6. Chemistry, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. This perfection of life culminates in the realization of the Supreme Being, Vishnu. The Shruti, therefore, directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Fortunately, persons who are enamored by the external beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand that culmination of perfection or self-realization depend on Vishnu. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyments, which is transient and miserable. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize advancements of knowledge for sense gratification. Sri Narada Muni has explained that all paraphernalia of the cosmic universe is but an emanation from the Lord out of his different energies, because the Lord has set in motion by his inconceivable energy the actions and reaction of the created manifestation. They have come to be out of his knowledge, of his energy. They rest on his energy, and after annihilation, they merge into him. Nothing is therefore different from him, but at the same time, the Lord is always different from them. When advancements of knowledge is applied in the service of the Lord, the whole process becomes absolute. The personality of Godhead and his transcendental name, fame, glory, etc., are all not different from him. Therefore, all the sages and devotees of the Lord have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, and all other branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely applied in the service of the Lord. Arts, literature, poetry, painting, etc., may be used in glorifying the Lord. The fiction writers, poets, and celebrated literateurs are generally engaged in writing of sensuous subjects. But if they turn towards the service of the Lord, they can describe the transcendental pastime of the Lord. Valmiki was a great poet, and similarly, Vyasadeva is a great writer, and both of them have absolutely engaged themselves in delineating the transcendental activities of the Lord, and by doing so have become immortal. Similarly, science and philosophy also should be applied in the service of the Lord. There is no use presenting dry speculation theories for sense gratification. Philosophy and science should be engaged to establish the glory of the Lord. Advanced people are eager to understand the absolute truth through the medium of science. And therefore, a great scientist should endeavor to prove the existence of the Lord on a scientific basis. Similarly, philosophical speculation should be utilized to establish the supreme truths as sentient and all-powerful. Similarly, all other branches of knowledge should always be engaged in the service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, also the same is affirmed. All knowledge not engaged in the service of the Lord is but nescience. Real utilization of advanced knowledge is to establish the glories of the Lord, and that is real import. Scientific knowledge engaged in the service of the Lord and all similar activities are all factually ariketan or glorification of the Lord. Om Janam Timradasya Janajana Shalakaya Dakshum Minitam Minatashma Shgura Vinamaha Shri Shetanamano Vistam Safitan Yenabutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadadistam Panadikam Vandiham Shri Guru Shuta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vashvam Cha Sirupam Sagrajatam Muragunatam Tam Sajivam Savarutam Paritam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirara Krishna Pada Sahaganalita Sri Vizakam Visamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namosite Tapchakana Gurangi Rade Brisavana Suhare Brisavana Sute Devi Pranamame Hare Priye Vanchakalpatarun Jascha Kripa Sanobhyahe Vacha Potitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarvasudeve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vatsachari Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Kaloti Vachalam Pangam Lagete Girim Yat Kripat Andande Shri Guru Dinataranam Hare Krishna everyone. Today we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 22. The text can read it again. Learning cycles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymn, and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, which defined in choice poetry. Hare Krishna. Yes, these verse very interesting. Is telling us that we have to learn how to use everything for the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Yeah, because after all, everything belongs to Him. He is the proprietor of everything. So we must apply everything in this service. When you say karma yoga, Bhagavad Gita have 5 subjects. discuss about 5 subjects. Ishvara, the Lord Himself; Jiva, ourself; karma, activities of jivas; kala, and prakriti. So, karma, our activities that we don't use for the pleasure of Krishna, become karma bandhana. But when we apply karma yoga, means we use our activities to please the Lord, then there's no reaction. And in fact, we have to shift from tendency to gratify our senses while we're doing karma yoga, from to come to the level of stopping trying to enjoy. So there is a sakama karma yoga and niskama karma yoga. But in between, there is a buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means, buddhi means intelligence, which means we apply our intelligence and think that, look, after all, everything belongs to the Lord. So why should I claim? Why should I think of getting any profits? Let me just give everything. Then that is buddhi yoga, which is not different from bhakti yoga. Yeah, but unfortunately, in this material world now, people are misusing the energies of Krishna. It's called Vishnu Maya. That's why in one of the purpose of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that one of the purpose of ISKCON is to expose the fault of materialism. So material life or materialism is a program to forget Krishna, to forget God. We have made so much arrangement to live peacefully in this world, but we don't have any disturbance from God. And after that, we want to go back to the kingdom of God without God being present in His kingdom. You know, we want to go there with our material desires. Yeah, so this materialism is full of faults. And ISKCON duty is to expose those faults. Otherwise, sometimes also the devotee can be bewildered by this material energy. So we, in the purport is mentioned that many activities like philosophy, science, art, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc., etc. These are different fields of activities in this material world. Yes, Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Krishna, he wrote different Vedas. Okay, 4 Vedas: Atharva Veda, Rig Veda, Samaveda, and Yajurveda. So we have different Vedas that deal with different subjects. The political science, everything, astrology, numerology, everything that people want to know is there in the Vedas. And Krishna himself, when he came, was in Gurukula. His guru was Sandipa Muni. So Krishna learned everything. Krishna learned the art of drawing. Krishna learned philosophy. He learned everything, mathematics, grammar, everything. But did Krishna learn all these things to become against the Dharma? No, Krishna was in a, he took part in his father was Nanda Maharaj was the Vaishya. So Krishna's business was to protect Dharma, protect the cow and the Brahmanical culture. So his learning was not to forget Krishna. His learning was to be more conscious of Krishna. But that is opposite in this material world now. That the more we learn material things, the more we become far away from God, from Krishna. Yeah. So the Actually, the one word, education. When you look at the word education in Latin, it's called, it said educare. Educare means the things that come from within. So if you look at it very well, the constitution of the soul is Satchit Ananda. Ananda is bliss. Sat is the eternity, and Chit is knowledge. So fundamentally, we are in knowledge as a soul. Yeah. So if you want to use this external knowledge that we found in this material world, that should be for reconnection with the supernal. We are Atma. We should connect with Paramatma, or the super soul. We are individual soul. We have to reconnect with the super soul. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't know if Prabhu can find it in the all Srimad Bhagavatam, the introduction, some part of the introduction, toward the end, the last paragraph of all introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. If Krishna Prabhu can find it, can read it. Very interesting. I have it here in my book. I don't know if you can go to any introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam, the last paragraph. Very interesting there. That tells us how the Srimad Bhagavatam itself is designed to accommodate all these knowledges: science, philosophy, economics, politics, etc. Okay, if you don't find it, I can read from my.
I'm looking for.
Yeah, I have it just to save time. I have it here in my.
Okay, the last paragraph.
Yes, keep looking for it.
Transcendental devotional service has 5 stages of reciprocation.
No. Read us the last paragraph of introduction.
Devotional service.
No. The last complete last one. The last paragraph.
Okay.
Go to the last paragraph completely. At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can find it, you can read it. You got it's very interesting. Find it?
So big. I'm looking at the last paragraph.
Okay, I have it here. Just go to the last paragraph. At the bottom, at the last, at the end.
Okay. At the end, there is the need.
No, completely at the end, the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, I'm at the introduction now, yes.
Yeah. He says, readers will find this work. Readers.
Okay.
Okay. I can read it from here.
I think you should read it from there, because here is so big.
Yeah. So he says the introduction of any Srimad Bhagavatam says, readers will find this work of value for many reasons. For those interested in the classical roots of Indian civilization, it serves as a vast reservoir of detailed information on virtually every one of its aspects. For students of comparative philosophy and religion, the Srimad Bhagavatam offers a penetrating view into the meaning of India's profound spiritual heritage. To sociologists and anthropologists, the Bhagavatam reveals the practical workings of a peaceful and scientifically organized Vedic culture, whose institutions were integrated on the basis of a highly developed spiritual worldview. Students of literature will discover the Bhagavatam to be a masterpiece of majestic poetry. For students of psychology, the text provides important perspective on the nature of consciousness, human behavior, and the philosophical study of identity. Finally, to those seeking spiritual insights, the Bhagavatam offers simple and practical guidance for attainment of the highest self-knowledge and realization of the absolute truth. The entire multi-volume text presented by the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust promises to occupy a significant place in the intellectual, cultural, and spiritual life of modern man for a long time to come. Yeah. So we see that there is no need to go and look for those things elsewhere. Everything in this Bhagavatam. Everything. Poetry, philosophy, physics, chemistry, mathematics, economics, politics, everything is in Srimad Bhagavatam. But Shastadev, when he wrote on the Varnasana Dharma, how to, to people have to gratify the senses legally. They call it legalized sense gratification. He wrote many things about that, but he was not satisfied himself. Then Narada Muni told him, look, you forgot something very, very important. You didn't discuss anything about Supreme Lord and his devotees. So when Vyasadeva took upon him the austerity to write Srimad Bhagavatam, then become satisfied. Because the world is full of many things, but without the presence of Krishna, without the presence of God, actually, Srila Prabhupada used to mention that everything is present in this world, but what is missing is God conscious. That's why he said, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The society is meant to, to bring people to be conscious of Krishna. What is missing? That is missing. Yeah, so we have different field of activities in this material world, but we have to utilize them for the pleasure of Krishna. Otherwise, in the purport is said, by human intellect is developed for advancement of learning in arts, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. By such culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. Unfortunately, persons who are enamored by the external beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand the culmination of perfection of self-realization depend on Vishnu. So there should be a culmination. After you get so much knowledge in all these fields, different fields, what is the conclusion? What is the goal? What is the final destination? It's to know Krishna, it's to know God. But if you gather all this information and we keep becoming more and more materialistic person, we miss the point. So Krishna consciousness is to learn, to teach us how to learn to reconnect everything to Krishna. So in fact, in this, I got some nice point on the book of Srila Gurudev Srila Bhakti Swami, the leadership of an age of high consciousness, was mentioning different things, mentioning about the 8th sin of leadership. And he said, wealth without work. We want to become rich. We want to become wealthy, but we don't want to work. You want to cheat. And he said, commerce without morality. Yes, we want to do business, we want to do commerce, but we don't have morality. We can't cheat to exploit people. He said, education without ethics. Yes. What is the value of so many education that we have in this world now? All these big universities in America, in Europe. But the sad truth is that we are creating hippies and drug addicts, and every time there is a suicide and people are frustrated. In fact, one of the biggest disease in this world now is it's not malaria. It's not even COVID. It is stress. So many people are doing stress management now because education without ethics, no value. And he said, science without humanity. Science without humanity brings COVID, brings disaster, instead of putting things together, it's deranged things. It makes things to become against the law of the material law. So there is a reaction for that. Because we claim to be scientists, but we don't know that the supreme science is Vishnu, is Krishna himself. So most of the time, in the name of science, we separate ourselves from Krishna, and we create more disturbance to the society. Then he said, politic without principle. Yeah, you have seen. Now, in the Vedic culture, we have the Raja Rishis. Yeah, the leaders of society, they were Kshatriyas. And the Brahmanas, they were just there to guide them. They were not interested in managing the society. They were just there to guide. But nowadays, we have with the politic, with so many wrong things, so many cheatings also, without any principles. And they said pleasure without conscience. We want pleasure. Provided I can get my pleasure, if I have to kill many thousand people, no problem. I must get my pleasure. Yeah. Then he said, worship without sacrifice. We want to worship, but we don't want to do any austerity. You cannot wake up early. You cannot avoid things that God does not like. But you still want to worship God. But you don't want to do any austerity. Prabhupada mentioned many times that those who eat meat, they can never meet God. They can never know God. But most of the religion in this world now, none of them are vegetarians. If you mention about vegetarian to them, they say this is Hindu. This is for Hindus. No. But how can you claim to love your father? Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj mentioned yesterday. How can you claim that you love your father and you don't love your brothers and your sisters? Yeah. So there is a religion and a worship without sacrifice. And again, he added one last one. He said, religion without philosophy. Or I can also say philosophy without religion. If you have religion, it must be some philosophy that supports your religion. Otherwise, you become just like a dry mental speculation. But if you also have a very nice, very beautiful philosophy, but there is no religion, that also is a speculation. Yeah. So this world now, we have big scientists, big politicians, big psychologists, but because they are not working for the pleasure of the Lord, they are using this knowledge instead of rising. They are using this knowledge to come down. So in the Ishopanishad, it was mentioned also mantra 11. It's mentioned. You can get mantra 11 or Ishopanishad. I have the book here. that the knowledge, anyone who can cultivate mundane knowledge and transcendental knowledge side by side. One who can, are you finding the verse? Mantra 11, Upanishad.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Yeah.
Yeah. That one who can cultivate simultaneously the mundane knowledge. Are you finding the verse? Mantra 11,
Yeah.
Upanishad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
looking for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vidya Chavidyam Chayas Tat Vedo. Yeah. Vayam Saha. Avidyaya Mrityam Titva. Vidya Mritam. One who can cultivate simultaneously the mundane knowledge. Are you finding the verse? Mantra 11, Upanishad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
looking for
exactly.
it.
And about there is an echo. I'm hearing my own voice. Tat Vedo. Vayam Saha. I'm hearing my own voice. Can you stop it? One who can cultivate simultaneously. Hello? Okay, let me. There is some
Okay.
disturbances. Well, anyway, the verse says one who can cultivate simultaneously the modern knowledge and transcendental knowledge can only escape the cycle of birth and death. So this cycle of birth and death, yeah, only one who can learn the process of nations and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated births and deaths and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Yeah. So it means, yes, our knowledge that we have in this material world is good, no problem, because they are from Krishna also, because Krishna also learned them, and yesterday wrote them in the different Vedas. But if can use them side by side, with transcendental knowledge, then we can put an end of our samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Yeah. Otherwise, this same knowledge, so-called knowledge that we're having, is going to bring us down, and we cannot know the goal of life, which is to know Krishna. So in the purport also, the purport was mentioned that Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyments. So people are utilizing the advancement of knowledge for sense gratification. Yes. So nice private jet, nice apartment, nice car, all these things, the purpose is to gratify the senses, not to meet Krishna, not to meet God. So it is very dangerous. So it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, one interesting verse, I like it. The 245, he mentioned about the those who the Vyavasatmika Buddhi, that is not possible to develop firm resolution to serve the Lord with love and devotion when we are too much attached to material things. It's not possible. So people can never think of God realization if they are too much, under the influence of Vishnu Maya. Yeah. Actually, that's the process. No. 240, 40, 44. The previous one. The previous one. Yeah. The minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyments and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Which means they can never think of God realization. because too much material desire. Actually, the whole program of this material life is Kama, Artha, Moksha, Dharma. Kama means sense gratification. Artha means economic development, means more sense gratification. Nice build, nice roads, nice buildings, nice facilities. Because our sense gratification, like our salary, we want to enjoy our salary. But we need the best way to enjoy our salary, our incomes. So we need to create, economic development, which is good. But if you only do that, then this is Vishnu Maya. Then again, eventually they go to religiosity, which is just to bribe God. Okay, look, God, I have such facilities, but I build this church, this temple, this. But please don't forget me at the time of death. That is a moksha, because they don't know that there is the reincarnation, there is a karma, everything. So they think that all these sense enjoyment they are doing is for free. So some of them who are very intelligent, they think, okay, in case there is God somewhere, please, I'll do some little service to God, building a church, do some small donation. In case there is punishment, God will remember my activities. So this is karma, artha, moksha, and dharma. That's all. You see. So again, karma yoga, as I mentioned in the beginning, is to link our activities to Krishna. Yeah, link our activity to Krishna. And when this is done, is so done, then we can live peacefully in this world. Yesterday himself wrote. He wrote many things. And Valmiki also, he was mentioned in the verse. Valmiki wrote many things. He was a poet. Kavikanapu is a poet. But the poet is what? To please the Lord, glorify the Lord. Just like we have in India, as one place called very near to Mathura, it's called Agra. There we have a very nice place called Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is very famous. I think one of the wonders in the world. But what is Taj Mahal? Taj Mahal is just a tomb of a wife of somebody, of a king. But many people go to India. They don't remember Vrindavan. They don't remember Govardhan. They don't remember Shamkun, Radhakun, Yamuna. Many holy places. But they just go for Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal. So the poetry, the philosophy, and everything that we are learning in this world should be utilized for the pleasure of the Lord. Because of too much self-interest, people now, they don't know the difference between what is a need, what we need, and what we want. Again, I have to go to the book, Leadership of an Age of Higher Consciousness. He said nowadays people, there is conflict between our need and our what we want. So we want sympathy, but actually we need empathy. We need sympathy, but we need empathy. Sometimes we need riches, wealth, but what we need is fulfillment. Most of the time, we are too much conscious of being famous. We need fame, too much fame. But what we need is appreciation. If you appreciate you appreciate me, then everybody becomes famous. But if I'm self-centered, I want my own glory, I want to become famous, then I cannot appreciate others. Then others also cannot appreciate me. So appreciation is needed. We want fame, but what is needed is appreciation. Then we need power. We want power, but actually what we need is support and opportunity. When I'm single, I'm alone, I'm weak. But when I have the support with my friends and God brothers and God sisters and all devotees, I become strong. So because we are self-centered, we need power. But power can develop ego. So what we need is support and opportunity. Then again, we need we want domination. We want to dominate. Yes, this world now, there's superpowers, America, Europe, everyone want to dominate the world. But what we need is simply protection. Yes, because you want to dominate Paul wants to dominate Isaac, then like that. And so nobody wants to become humble. So what we need is protection from each other. Then we want prestige. People want prestige, but what we need is recognition and acceptance. We have to accept that yes, this Prabhu or this Mataji have some qualities. And we want prestige, our own prestige. Then again, we want freedom, but actually what we need is good guidance and facilities. Every country in our freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom of that. How can you be free if your senses are already under the control of Vishnu Maya? Yeah. So what we need is guidance and facilities. Yeah. So this verse is very interesting. That we have to try to culminate everything. The conclusion is to glorify the Lord. Yeah. We have many kings in the past, many poets in the past, many scientists in the past. What is his name? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. He was a big scientist also. Now in ISKCON, we have many astrologers. We have to calculate the Tithi date of any appearance date of Krishna. It's there. But we are not using those things to get money to gratify our senses. We have big professors. I remember when I was in school, our teacher of science was one of the best teacher. If he can teach you that cigarette is very bad, can destroy your system, but he was one of the biggest, smoker in the town. Why? So we have many teachers at the university. Actually, when you go to the university, that is the top postgraduate education. But if you look at the life of teachers of university, some of them they cannot control their senses. Some of them they have wife at home and they have many girlfriends outside. They are teachers. So what are they teaching? You see, yeah. So people are missing the points. So we have to learn that everything that is here must be culminated to the service of the Lord, and that is the best way of using. Actually, Srila Prabhupada mentioned something. He said we have to make the best use of the bad bargain. The best use of the bad bargain. We made a mistake to abuse of our independence, our free will. So we found ourselves in this material world, struggling now. We're thinking that, yes, if I'm alone, I'll be free. Why I must always be under the control of Krishna? Krishna is enjoying with the gopis and the gopas and the gopis. Why I should always just be like an assistant? I must also enjoy myself. So we decided to come into adventure in this material world. So now we are suffering. So when we realize that we are not the boss, then we have to go back and surrender to the real boss. Understand? So by doing so, we can now understand our position and try to use everything for the service of the Lord. That is the perfection of the life of this life. Otherwise, in the name of those things, we begin to create more karma, more reaction for our activities. At the bottom of the purport, Srila Prabhupada said that in the Bhagavad Gita also it's the same is affirmed. all knowledge not engaged in the service of the Lord is but nonsense. Real utilization of the advanced knowledge is to establish the glories of the Lord, and that is the real import. Scientific knowledge engaged in the service of the Lord and all similar activities are all factually ariketan, or glorification of the Lord. Yeah. So the point is that we must recognize that is Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the original personality. So we must recognize his position and worship him and glorify him. We should not use all these things to glorify ourselves. I read one thing, nice thing, something nice. Prabhupada was with his disciples, and they saw one beautiful lady, very beautiful. So Sri Prabhupada was looking at the lady, and the disciple was kind of bewildered. Actually, I think Prabhupada is a Swamiji. It's not supposed to to look at women in such a way. Prabhupada was more and more admiring the lady. Wow. Then the disciple was confused. Prabhupada told them, look, I'm not looking at the lady because of the beauty because I'm in the Maya. Just to let you know that look at the creator, the creation. So beautiful, so beautifully made. So if you are bewildered by this beauty, so what about the creator himself? If we are bewildered by the creation of God, that we cannot do anything else, then what about the creator himself? Must be much, 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 much more beautiful. So the devotee are intelligent. The devotee, they are not attracted to the energy of Krishna, which is Vishnu Maya. The energy is attracting them, but what is the person behind that energy? Yes, the energy is very beautiful. Okay, good. But who is behind the energy? Who is behind the energy? That is the real intelligence. Yes. Mathematics, poetry, everything come from God. But we are not using them for the Lord. That's the cause of our suffering. Yes, that is the cause of our suffering. Yeah. So we have to learn to bring everything to the little feet of Krishna, and that way we can make best use of the bargain. As I said, Prabhupada said, makes best use of the bad bargain. So we are already in this material world. We cannot do anything else. So we are already having this material body full of problems. We don't want to become sick. We are sick. So many problems we don't want. So what to do? So the best use of the bad bargain is to try to be a devotee. It's not easy, but try to utilize this body as a devotee. That's the best way of using this body. Otherwise, the body itself is useless. Yes, the body is designed for sense gratification. But when we are intelligent, we use the body to serve the Lord. That's the best way of using our material body. Otherwise, the material body is full of mucus, blood, bones. It's a bag. It's a bag of problem. Yeah, understand? You remember the story of the Chintamani and the prostitute, and that king who wanted to marry one lady. So that lady, she took some medicine, she vomited everything. Then the next day, after some time, when the king went back to that lady, she had vomited everything, put in the buckets. Then she asked about the lady. Then they said, "Is this your lady?" She said, No, she's not the lady. She said, "Yes, it's me. But what you are present in me is there just in the buckets. The urine, the blood, and everything, the mucus, everything. So what we call beauty is just a bag. It's a bag of problem. Yeah. So if you don't utilize this body to please the Lord, then the body is just something very useless. Yeah, so we must make the best use of the bad bargain. So all these things existing in this material world, you must use them for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it can create karma bandhana. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your class. Please, if you have question, raise your hand. I have one question personally. In the paper, Prabhupada mentioned Vishnu Maya.
Yes.
By putting Vishnu into that Maya, it makes that Maya sound like auspicious, something very spiritual. So what is the difference between Vishnu Maya and Maha Maya? Because Vishnu Maya, since it say it means sense enjoyment. So what is Maha Maya?
Yeah.
And why he put Vishnu before the Maya?
Yeah. Vishnu, the word was the word Maya itself on the own is illusion. But when it connects Maya also should not forget that Maya is energy of Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 7:14, he says, Devi esa guna mahi mama maya durataya. Devi is a guna mahi. Maya. This energy Maya is divine. It is my energy, Mama Maya. It said Devi. Devi means divine. So when you take Maya alone, yeah, you can say it's bad. But don't forget that she's under the service. She's doing service for the Lord. So Vishnu Maya means, according to the purport, it is the external energy of Krishna. I'm going to say Mahamaya, then she's the devotee. Durga, she assumes the form of serving the Lord in their capacity, or to be with people and those who are engaged in sense gratification. So the duty of Durga, of Maya, is to bring illusory energy to deceive them. That is called Mahamaya. But Vishnu Maya is the external energy. Actually, the same. We can also say Krishna Maya, the same. So Mahamaya is the Lord energy that that's what we have. So Yoga Maya, we have Mahamaya, and we have Vishnu Maya. So Yoga Maya is still the same illusion that prevents Krishna's pure devotees to accept him as the Lord. And Mahamaya is those who they are under the control of material energy, and they cannot think of Krishna, Mahamaya. And Vishnu Maya is the external energy. Krishna has so many things very beautiful, so we are attracted to those beautiful things, and you forget the essence. Okay?
Vishnu Maya seems to be more better because it's not you can still remember Krishna and enjoy than the Mahamaya illusion to forget Krishna.
Yeah. That is yeah. Any other question?
Also, in the paper, in the course of the lecture, you mentioned Prabhupada saying that to make a commerce, one would cheat. But Prabhupada also said it is normal for a businessman to cheat. If not, he can't remain in business. They can hide their benefits. I'm selling this to you. Actually, I'm making no profit. They lie. They cheat. So Prabhupada says it's normal. That is the nature of business.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning that one would cheat in commerce.
Exactly. Yeah. That actually I took that quote from the book Leadership of Higher Consciousness. Yeah, an age of higher consciousness. So it says people now do commerce without morality. Yeah, it is possible. Vaishya is one of the varna, but nowadays what we see is that people they intentionally cheat necessarily. Yes, that's why it is said that in the four varnas they have defects. Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Shudras, and Vaishyas have defects. The Brahmanas they have defects because Brahmana by doing rituals sometimes they kill animals, which is bad. There is a reaction for that. The Vaishyas, you cannot become, as you are saying, cannot prosper in your business if you are always honest. If you are Brahmana, you say, I buy this banana 50, let's say dollar, and I sell it $50 to you. How can you progress? It's not possible. You have to tell lies. And as Shakti also the king, huh? And the Shudras, of course, Shudras, whatever mistakes others do, they also follow. That's why we have to rise above. Krishna is telling Arjuna, try to rise above these foreigners. Because when you do business and you give some of your income to Krishna, then you can purify. Otherwise, if you just do business, your business, your commerce, then as you know, as you are saying, there is cheating in your business, wrongly and unknowingly. So to purify that business is to direct some of your income for the pleasure, for the service of the Lord. That way you can save yourself. Otherwise, big karma.
Yeah. Thank you. Our next question is from George Amega. George Amega, unmute and put on your camera if you want to ask question. George Amega, on
actually,
your
I'm on
camera.
scaffold. I'm at a higher ground, but
Okay.
okay, I'm on at okay. Let me okay. You can see I'm at work. I'm on a high height, but I'm still trying to listen. My question is, the purpose actually says that we should use everything in creational consciousness, including science. I'd like to know this technology we are using right now to broadcast this message.
I think the
But people
microphone is
who
cracking. Your microphone is
technology
cracking.
themselves, they are not using it for.
We take your network is cutting. Arrange your network. We take our next question from Sukadev Goswami. Your network is not too good.
Network is not good.
Sukadev Goswami, please go ahead.
Microphone is cracking.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Please accept my humble greetings. Thank you very, very much for the wonderful class, Maharaj. We're so grateful.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien?
Okay, good.
So, Maharaj, I have a question in regards to in the discourse of the class.
Yes.
We come to understand that yes, everything has to be used for Krishna consciousness, and also sense gratification is also there. But we also understand that. So how do we balance the contrast of individual karmas, in this? Because sometimes it is not every devotee that is destined to have a certain material opulence, and it is also not every devotee that is destined to have that. Some devotees are also destined to have some material opulence. So now, to be able to understand this, because like you said, sense gratification, like some people are destined, they have television in their house, they have this. Is it not also part of what is in their kurta? Because like you did mention about the what was it? I forgot the name of the thing, but here it is said about quota. Everybody have their own individual quota that is being given to them, and according to your individual quota, yes, you will only get what is there for you, what is already predestined for you in your quota. You can't get beyond what is not there for you. So how do we balance these two contrasts here, Maharaj? This is the question.
Thank you for the question. Very nice question. Yeah, you are speaking on the point of view of astrologer. Huh? Yeah. As an astrologer, I know I have some basic knowledge of astrology also. He said in our left hand, our past activities are there, and in our right hand, our present activities are there. So as you mentioned, that when we take part, everything is calculated. Our quota is waiting for us. You cannot add, you cannot subtract also. But our present was made from our future. And our future, we are preparing it with our present now. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So some people are destined to have a car, to have buildings, to have plenty money. Okay. But what are they doing with that, those facilities now. They're using it to abuse, they're using it for sense gratification. Okay. Then in the next life, because they didn't use it properly, that can create bad karma for them. But also those who didn't have such facilities, but are trying to do the best to please Krishna to connect with the spiritual energies, then they are also creating positive karma that will help them in the future. Yeah. For karma, we already applied, just like you go to restaurants. Say, I want pizza. Yes, you say pizza, people are going to give you pizza. They're not going to give you sweet rice. There. So we already apply, we already order in our past activities what we have now. So Maya have served us in the plate. Now we are enjoying. Now we are also ordering next menu for the next life, what for our activities now. And here, some of us are going to be surprised that why I didn't order this, but why? But you order, we are ordering now. Okay, so you can see how to create the balance. So we have to understand that yes, what I'm having now is my previous karma, but also karma does not stop now. Karma continues. So far, we don't go back to Krishna Loka, to Goloka Vrindavan. You see, we are still in the cycle of the samsara, taking birth, death, birth, death. But we have to put an end of that. So if we don't know that, yes, what I have now is due to my karma, just even become a king. Become a king is not by accident. Those who are king now, those who are head of state now, it is due to their past activities. But some are kings today, but they can become a beggar, they can become dog in the streets in their life, next life. Yes. So it is very, very, very important to first recognize, yes, what I have now is because of my karma, and I must use them for the pleasure of the Lord and purify my existence. Otherwise, in my next life, those things, my enjoyment of today is going to create problem for me in the future. You understand? Yeah. So that's why it's not good to envy. If you envy someone, he paid for it in the past life. Paid for it. But he didn't pay, he didn't do anything for that. So he cannot enjoy. But also, you don't judge people based on material acquisition. Some people may not have nice car, nice building, plenty money, but his bank balance, the bank balance is very big, and that's going to help him in his next life. Or it's going to help him to finish his business in this material world, which is much important than acquiring so many things, material things, and remains prisoner in this material world.
Thank you, Maharaj. Our next question is from Sahadev Prabhu. Sahadev, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for the class.
Dr. Sahadev Prabhu. Yes, what is the question, please?
My question is about where I'm not sure if you read from the purport or you were just saying in your lecture that there is no need to study any books because everything is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada himself also said something similar to that in one of his morning walks with Hridayananda Maharaj. And Srila Prabhupada was also saying that there is no need to study all these material history books and things like that. But somewhere also Srila Prabhupada would also encourage disciples that you study and then use that in the service of Krishna. So I just want you to shed more light on that. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's like sound like contradiction, but it's not contradiction. Yes, no. Everything, as I read in the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam, everything you can find in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, when you look at the four Vedas, we have Atharva Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Rig Veda. Everything is there. Everything is there. Okay, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam also everything is there. So if someone can dedicate his life just studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, that's very good. But that is the point. The case of most of people are not born as devotees. So they are born and they are programmed to enjoy sense gratification. So they go to school, they go to college, they go to university. Yeah, but at university and college, we learn all those things: science, mathematics, psychology, everything. But if we are studying those things and we don't use them, we don't think that yes, there is a connection with those things to the Supreme Lord, then we are missing the point. So if everything is already in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but not everybody is a devotee. For devotees, not the problem. The devotees can only read Srimad Bhagavatam; they will be satisfied. But those who are not devotees, they think that yes, I must go to school to acquire knowledge. It's good, but what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion of acquiring the knowledge? It was mentioned that there should be a culmination of this material knowledge to the service of Vishnu. So it should be a culmination. If there is no culmination, then it means we are trying those things are going to destroy ourselves instead of bringing us up. It's going to destroy us. Yes, just like you are a doctor, no? So many people also are doctors, but they use this very nice service to do abortion also, which is very bad. Sometimes in politics, if you are enemy, you can pay a doctor to kill your enemy. For instance. But those like medicine, archaeology, anthropology, chemistry, philosophy, they are all good, provided they, make us remember the source, the origin of everything. Yeah, that's the point. So Prabhupada said he's encouraging everybody to go to school. Like in our Gurukul, we learn both things. We learn geography, history, everything. At the same time, also we learn viticulture. Yeah. So our students must know how to count. Our students in the curriculum must know English, must know grammar, they must know many things. But the conclusion that they become devotee. Yeah. Because if you don't read, it's not good also. You cannot read Bhagavad Gita, become illiterate, that's not good also. Yeah. So we have to learn, we have to go to school, we have to go to university. But the point is that nowadays they are missing the point because the same Prabhupada said that university is like slaughterhouse now. You send your child to school from day one, they will teach you that meat eating is very good. It gives you protein and vitamin, which is very wrong. And you grow like that, go to college, go to secondary school, go to university, got degrees, and got a job in the society, and promotes violence, promotes abortion, promotes so many bad things. So how to spend so many years, 10 years, 20 years to study at the university just like some people, they control a big society of where they create cigarettes. The big guy, big boss. But what is he doing to society? Some people also they work in the place where they create alcohol, and the big guy, he has plenty millions. But what is he doing to the society? Okay, yeah. So we have to learn those things, but we should not use those things to kill ourselves and kill others. Otherwise, everything is already there. Just read Srimad Bhagavatam and we'll be satisfied. And when you read Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, that will lead you directly to meet Krishna. Is that okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you. Prince John is asking a question on the chat room. He said he is confused. He wants to know, how do we know that we are too attached to material sense gratification.
John is asking. We know, we can know that we are too much attached to material sense gratification when we don't have time to go to temple, we don't have time to do our japa, we don't have time to read our books, we don't have time to associate with devotees, we don't have time to take care of our sadhana. Yes, and we are in Maya, we are in illusion. But if you can still get those things and create a system to keep doing your japa, keep associating with devotees, keep visiting temples, keep doing your service in the temple. Yes. But if you see that, yes, your japa is decreasing, you are going to temple less and less, you don't have time to read, you hardly read, you never finish your rounds, and that finally will lead you that you cannot sustain your vegetarian life, cannot become vegetarian for a long time. So you can know yourself that you are progressing or regressing. Yes. The barometer is the taste of the japa. How much taste do you have the japa? How much taste do you have to reading? If you are losing those tastes, means that's a problem.
Okay, we have another question from Ishkon Kaduna. Ishkon Kaduna, please ask your question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please answer Mahabu obeisance.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Please Maharaj, my question is, if we are with Krishna, before desiring position of Krishna, we further in this material world.
Yeah.
I want to know, is it that we are not that pure enough to stay with Krishna? Because we heard that Krishna with the Gopas, they used to play, and sometimes Krishna used to serve them.
Yeah.
So is it that we are not that pure to stay there? That is why we have what makes us bring that kind of consciousness that we want to take place of Krishna. Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. If you are pure by now, we should be with Krishna in Goloka. Yeah. So we decided to become independent. So we have minute independence, and we misuse that independence. We try to be the boss. Yeah. So we found ourselves here. So we also we become like small Vishnu, small Gabodakata Vishnus. We have a wife. We create our expansions, our children, our grandchildren, and we look at them. We are very happy. But the real Vishnu is there waiting for us. We also have facilities. We have a house. We have different rooms. It's bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, like that. We are happy to have all those things, but we are forgetting that we have to go back to our original, position. So we are satisfied to be alone. So when we realize that yes, we made a mistake, then we start cultivating Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So we cannot be with Krishna now and like the Gopas and the Gopis because we are contaminated. We have lost our Bhakti Yoga. Now we have, maybe you can have Bhakti, but it's a mixture, mixed with so many material desires. There are too many material desires means to enjoy material sense gratification. I'm the body. I'm Ameti. It's time to say I'm Brahmashmi. When I say I'm Brahmashmi and you realize it, then we can go back to our original. This is Paramgati, our original destination. Yeah. But for now, we should check ourselves. You know, how much taste we have for sadhana, how much taste we have for Krishna consciousness. The Guru is there to testify that we are ready to go back. We cannot say, oh, why Krishna? We are not with Krishna. We can be with him, but the Guru will testify. Yeah, the Guru will, by giving us sensation, is training us how to prepare ourselves to go back to our original position. Jivara Swarup E Krishna Das. We are all Krishna Das eternally. Our real position, our real Swarup, our real form is that we are Krishna Das. we are devotees of Krishna. But because we are forgotten, now we are Maya Das. We are serving Maya. When if we are satisfied, we are tired, then we can go back. But as now you are in Kaduna. Kaduna is Nigeria. Nigeria is in Africa. Africa is in the continent, the African continent. African continent is the material world. Okay, so we have to rise above the material world. Even go to Endraloka, Swagaloka, Brahmaloka before you go to Vaikunta. Then like that. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
We have a comment in the chat room by Holiness Pari Bracha Maharaj. He said,
your mind is calm, but it's not yet clear.
Who is speaking there? Okay. So Maharaj is saying, Mandanda to you, Maharaj, please say Hare Krishna. I find this morning class very refreshing and reassuring. When Srila Prabhupada was with certain GBC members, a very beautiful Vaishnavi walked into the room for service. Srila Prabhupada stopped and looked in amazement and commented upon the beauty of the Vaishnavi. He then asked the GBC members, so what are we going to do about this? No one answered. So we see that beauty is everywhere, but it is not for our enjoyment. Everything is for him. This is Ishagya. I am feeling most fortunate to now, in my old age, being given to serve the continent of Africa, which is full of only beauty, which is full of not only beauty, but also love and affection. Yes, bhakti, in my observation, is natural for Africa. You mentioned knowledge. So we can see that love conquers all and its foundation is self-sacrifice. All these attributes are in abundance in Africa. When Krishna is placed in the center, Vaikunta Dham is present. The sleeping giant Africa has arisen. I feel most fortunate to be given the opportunity if all your holy association. Mandandavad Pranam to you all. Hare Krishna. That is from Paribraja Maharaj. Paribraja Maharaj, if you would like to speak, kindly unmute your camera and mic and say something, please. Thank you.
Nice comment.
Don't think it's there. Okay, we have another question again from George Amega. Hope your network now is good. George Amega.
So can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go
Let's
on.
speak.
No problem.
Speak, please.
Okay. Yeah, my question has to do. Okay. My question has to do with the technology in aspect of the scientific knowledge that the people talk about. My question is, now we are using this scientific knowledge, which is Zoom platform that we are using. But the designer might not have this knowledge about how to use this thing in Krishna consciousness. But we somehow or the other, we are using it. So I would like to know, is there benefit from this?
Krishna Prabhu is cracking.
Yeah, he's saying, I heard him, he's saying, now you in the paper, Prabhupada speak about technology.
Okay. Yeah.
And now the people, we are using Zoom now in this class.
Yeah.
And the people who invented Zoom, they never thought about we're going to use it in Krishna's service.
Yeah.
So what are they? Are they going to get some benefit because we're using their technology in Krishna's service?
Yeah, yes, of course. They see sometimes people do things, but it is inspiration also. So if they have created these nice facilities, internet, Zoom, social media, and devotees are using them, they will get some benefits. Yeah. So that's why one of the same thing also Prabhupada mentioned that makes best use of bad bargain. Yeah. when you go to internet or Facebook, you can see so many abominable things there. But the same Facebook also can use it to preach. WhatsApp can use to preach. Zoom can use to preach. The same Zoom, people are using Zoom to do armed robbery. So many things also. But we are using it for Shema Bawatam, which is very, 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 very good. So those who created this, they are going to get some benefits, of course. That's sure. Yeah.
With Bhaktivedanta Youth Forum, Sukadev, your hand is still up. Is it the second question?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Just for a more further understanding on this particular subject matter, because you see, when we reach Bhaktivinoda Thakure's songs, we find him lamenting, like truly he sings and he is like demoting himself, like really criticizing himself that he is not worthy, he is this, he is that, is a rascal, is this, so many things he calls himself, that although he has all this opulence and everything, but still he is a rascal. Now the question is, how does, to really get the mercy of Krishna, do we really need to criticize? Do we really need to demote ourselves so much, or do we really need to shout on ourselves and call ourselves so many unworthy names and everything like that to truly be able to get the mercy of the Lord? Or there is a thin line between it whereby we can be able to come to that balance? This is the question, Maharaj.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, I mentioned Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There is Paramamsa. The Paramamsas, the activity is completely beyond understanding. But our level, as we're saying, we have to balance. We cannot artificially, lament and criticize ourselves while we don't really mean it. We don't really mean it. One Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that he really means. Actually, when they say they really apply this verse, this sloka in their life. We say it in the morning when it's after Tulsi Arati, and we do it just because it's like a duty, because it's in the program of the temple, and we say actually we don't. Our attitude after we say this prayer does not show. It doesn't reflect that sloka. You understand? So we just say it, but it's very artificial. But these sadhus and advanced devotees, these paramamsas, they really mean what they are saying. Just like, see, he said that Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan, he sees everything, everybody there, every living being as a Vrajabasi. Okay? So when there is one temple, when the devotee finished eating the prasad, they sweep, they clean the prasadam hall, those the dirty water and the remaining of the prasadam that goes out from the gunta, to eat with the pigs, the monkeys, the dogs, they finish eating. When they finish, before, I think Sanatana Goswami, and I go and take the remnant of the dogs and the pigs and we see how high his consciousness is, because he really believes that this dirty dog is also, is a Brajavasi. This is a pig, very dirty, is also. But do we believe? Do we really believe that? No. So it should not be artificial. We should do things according to our level and according to our understanding. There's no point of denying ourselves. No. There is a difference between humility and low self-esteem. Low self-esteem means you become useless. But you have to be humble. At the same time, keep in mind that you must do something positive. But low self-esteem means, okay, I'm not nobody. I cannot do anything. I cannot get money. I cannot get a job. This is laziness. This is fatality. To avoid fatality. But those Bhaktivinoda Thakur is genuinely saying like this. He believes. And also, you have the story of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. He said, when I leave the body, please tie me in a rope with rope and pull me in the streets of Nababib. He's saying it, and some of his disciples very foolish. They were ready to do that. When he left the body, the time, and that was what is name? Yeah, the time, and they were ready to pull him on the streets. So Sita Bhaktisiddhanta came and said, "What are you doing?" Said, "Yes, Maharaj say when he died, we should tie him in the rope and put him in the street." Yeah, he said it because of out of humility. It does not mean that you have to really do that. You understand? Yeah. So we have to understand what the pure devotees are saying, and we, our own level, should not imitate them. We should follow the footstep, not to imitate them. Yeah. Bhakti Thakur, you know how he eats? Practically one chapati, one glass of milk, and in the 24 hours, he sleeps 4 hours only. There's 24 hours. Can we do that? No. Yeah. So when he said that he's lamenting, I don't have nothing, I don't have devotion, I don't have bhakti, they really mean it. And that is the state of mind that you must have to be able to impress Krishna. Because Krishna is the boss. If you go with Krishna and you have boss mentality, it cannot work. You must become submissive. And when Krishna sees that, yes, you are submissive, then he can come to your rescue. Is that okay?
We have last question on the chat room from Tribhuvanat. He said, the explanation you gave to me, to Kusha's question, is not clear to him. Maybe you can, on the issue of Mahavishnu,
Yeah.
or I mean Vishnu Maya and Mahamaya. So he wants more clarification. Tribhuvanat.
Yeah, it's not clear that on which point.
On Vishnu Maya, he said.
Yeah, Vishnu Maya. Yeah, Vishnu Maya, according to the they're in the purport. Vishnu Maya is external energy. If we can find the purport again. Vishnu Maya is simply the external energy. Let me see. Yeah. The Shruti, therefore, directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Fortunately, the external beauty of Vishnu do not understand that accumulation of perfection or self-realization depend on Vishnu. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment, which is transient and miserable. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize advancement of knowledge for sense enjoyments. Yeah, Vishnu Maya is a illusion also. That we see Vishnu, but we are attracted only by the creation of what we find is this material energy. Instead of using them to serve Krishna, we are only attracted by them. That is the Vishnu Maya. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment. But in the night angles of devotion service, he say Vishnu Smaranam. Shravana Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Yeah, he said Vishnu Maya. Yeah. The other side we have to remember Vishnu Smaranam. Here it is say Vishnu Maya. Vishnu Maya lead to sense enjoyments. Is that in the purport? So I don't know what he doesn't understand.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
A wonderful class. We kindly ask all devotees to unmute yourselves and let's chant powerful Hare Krishna for Maharaj. Welcome. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama Hare Krishna.